How far?
I'm in the Trading Hub live session.
All right, so let's get right into it very, very fast. So the first pair is AUD card. This one just reminds us. You can see what this was from the last session on Tuesday, where I told you that I will be looking for sales. And it actually sold, and I said this would be my first target, and it got there. Because if you're in the session on Tuesday, you remember I told you that there's every possibility that there will be a reaction there because I've seen it play out a couple of times. And if I see a reaction, I'll close my trade. Experience will teach you that. And that was exactly what happened. The price got back here and you can see it bounced and cleared everything. And now it has changed the direction of the market to bullish because now I'll most likely be looking for buy opportunities. And if I'm looking for buy opportunities, I have two areas to look at it from. This one is pretty unmitigated. And it has what? It has an inducement. So if at all I want to place this order, I'll be making use of this majorly on this time frame. And I'm very sure I'll get more than 3 RR on this trade. Which I've always said it should be like your metrics. Anything less than 3 RR should not be your business. It did not reach. So you can probably now go to your lower time frame to refine it to fit into what you are looking for. So looking at this now, I can refine it to this level. So I can go back now and drop my entry down a little bit. So my entry will now be here. Is it 3 RR now or not? Yes, it is. So it's as simple as that. You can see how I easily broke it down. So most likely, if price comes back towards this area, we should see a reaction there. So it's quite clear on the 1 hour. If you zoom out, you clearly see it that has changed. You can clearly see breaks here. You can clearly see another one. And like I always say, always trade with the trend. Make sure the trend is your friend. When the trend is your friend, you lose less on any pair. You lose less on any pair. So you can see now we have our entry. So that is for this, and this is a 3.6 RR. So let's just say 3 R. Keep that there. So let's go to AUD USD. So this one is still running from our last session. And like I always say, you see, it got to the first target. You can see it got to the first target. You can see it got to the first target. It didn't get to the second target before reversing. And I'm very sure it did more than 2 RR. Let me see. So I'll be sure. Let's see. It even did the 3 RR self. So on this trade, there's no way you should have lost this if you entered because it got to 3.76 before going back to entry. But I didn't take this trade though. I didn't take it. I missed it. But then if I had taken it, I'll have been out of the market by now because I only look for 3 RR. So but then the market is still using that area again and it's most likely coming back towards this area. And similar to what we have on that AUD card, there should most likely be a reaction around here. There should be a reaction around them. So I'll be very careful when price gets to this area. I'll come back and remind you about that. And tomorrow is NFP. There's unemployment claims today, and this non-farm employment for ADP. They usually push the market to a significant extent in preparation of tomorrow. So be very careful around that time, especially if you are scalping. So spread and slippage will not take you out. But for day traders, they shouldn't really have problem. Just follow your plan. If you are scalping, be very careful around that time. Then the next one, this one, I've not really seen anything clear yet, but it has done good movements back to back and it's still bullish. So if at all any buy you're trying to enter, this should be your target. But looking at this now, this looks like the only unmitigated order block for now. So even if at all I want to enter, I'll still be looking at entering around here. Be looking at entering around here, and it's up to 3 years, it's even 4. So if at all I want to enter this trade, I'll most likely be using this. Okay. I'll most likely be using this as my entry because I'm still in line with the bullish trend. So you should most likely tap here and bounce. You should most likely tap there and bounce. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. This looks good. It's still in line with the trend. Very straightforward. So there's nothing much to talk about there. Then this already played out from Tuesday, 5 hour, and the trend is still bullish. It created another high. created another high. Sorry, I'm supposed to use this. So this created another high here, and let me delete this so to not confuse you. So I still have this will be my next entry now. It's still valid. This is still valid for a re-entry. Still very much valid for a re-entry. So I'll most likely be having my entry around there. And that new high will be my target. So if I'm trying to trade this, this is what I would have on display. It's still in line. Remember, I'm still in line with the trend. It's still bullish. It's still bullish. It is still quite bullish. So that is what I'll be looking at for this. And this is how many are. This is 6.8. So let's just say 6 now. This market is over 7. Let's say 7 from this. So that's a valid setup. Very valid. Then the next one is Euro AUD. Let's see, what do we have? So this one is bearish. So normally I'll be looking more towards sell setups. Let me see this area. Maybe it was mitigated. Was it? Okay, it was mitigated briefly. So that is the current play. So this is a trade I'll have taken. That's the current play. It's retesting that area. So this is the current play of this market. It has broken structure, very valid downtrend. So I have no business looking for buys yet. If at all I want to look for buy, I need to see a proper shift and a break of structure. It has not even shifted. So I can't be looking for buys in this kind of market. I'll be looking for sales. And this is still valid. This is still very valid for a sale. It has already done 3.89. It's probably trying to get a re-entry or probably tap into that area properly. But let's see what the market decides to do. I'll be observing this. I'll be observing that. So that's that for Euro AUD. It's very, very bearish. You can see it shifted. It shifted there, but it did not break structure. You can see it only did liquidity sweep. And that was why it broke structure. So if you were trying to wait or looking for entry, you would have hit a sell. So always make sure that whenever there's a shift, always wait for a break of structure before looking for a buy if you have something like this. If there was a break of structure here, this area will probably have held. Do you understand? So probably have held and it would not have broken. But because this was just a liquidity sweep, it was just a liquidity sweep, there was no break of structure. That is why it did not hold. So a lot of newbies will have fallen victim of this setup here. Hope that is clear. I just give you one small soap there. Then the next one. This one is still in the current play. Similar vibe with Euro AUD, bearish movement. It has not gotten to a major demand. I marked this on Tuesday. I showed you people. And it also now broke structure again. Let me delete this and make. So it's broke structure again here. So you have no business looking for buys. You have no business looking for buys. And it already made use of this area. So it continued here. Already made use of this. So that's still the current play like this. So that it's giving multiple touches. And it has done multiple 3R or more, let's see. So this will have been my entry. This will be your SL. And this area will be your final TP, almost 5R. And it has done that already. Came back for re-entry. Re-entered again, still rejecting. So that's the current play. The market is still bearish. So until this area is broken before it probably shifts. So let me delete this so you see clearly. Let me delete this. So if at all the trend is going to change, you need to see a shift here first. You need to see a shift here first. Always have your rules, and this is my own. So unless before I can say I want to start looking for buys, I must have seen a shift of this area first. Then another break of structure to the upside. Then I'll know that okay, the buyers are fully in the market. But as it stands, the sellers are still completely in control. You can see shift, break, break. Valid order block, rejection, break, rejection. So unless you see a shift here first, before you say, okay, let me be careful. I think buyers want to change the market. Then you now wait for the break of structure before looking for your buys. So this gives you higher probability setups instead of counter trading. So it takes time, but then you get more quality setups. And like I always say, you only need 3 wins out of 10 to stay profitable if you know what you are doing. So that is another soap I just gave you. Then for this, I think I'm seeing something around here. But I'm not sure it has started. So if at all I want to continue, still bullish, obviously. So if at all I want to just continue, I don't trust this pair too. It's not one of my favorite pair because I'm not really a fan of the price action. But based on what I'm seeing here, this is where I would be looking for like a buy re-entry, not completely valid, not A++. but it's something I'll be tilting towards. So this is something I'll be tilting towards, and it's a 4 point something RR setup. So it's not actually bad. But then if at all I was trying to continue the bullish trend, this is where I'll be entering from because it has an inducement directly above it. So, but it is not 100% for me. It's not 100% at all. But then it's something that looks good and it's in line with the trend. Then the next one is Euro USD. So this is the only valid setup that I have on this. Please mute your mic or if you have joined. So this is the most valid setup. The most valid is in line with the trend. Still the most valid for now. Even though it's not like valid, like A++, but then it's something I would take because it has cleared the breaker block that would possibly have been an entry. It has cleared that, and this is the next point of interest, and there's liquidity directly before it. So this is the only thing I'm looking at for Euro USD for now, though it is not completely 100%, but it looks like something that should play out. Looks like something that, but if peradventure it clears this level here, I won't be taking the sell. So I'll be observing also. I need it to come back, pick it, then use it to clear this area. But if it clears this area first before coming back, this might not hold. That's another thing to actually take note of. So it becomes 50-50 if this area is cleared out. So you get so. Then the next one is GJ. Trying to be as fast as possible. So GJ picked this buy area here, but this is also a valid order block. And let me see the overall trend. It looks like it's consolidating. It's coming from an uptrend, but it's consolidating. So this setup is a 50-50 setup. It's not something I would be banking on. So there are some setups that you will see, you'll be like, okay, let's see. And there are some setups that you'll be very confident of. So this one are one of those setups that you'll be like, let's see. Do you get this area now? Did not break anything. So it might play out, it might not play out. It's 50-50, but this is a valid order block. It's a valid bearish order block that there can be a reaction from. But with the reaction lead back to this area, I cannot guarantee that. But this is the major. The market looks like it's consolidating. So the only way you will get good setups here is probably if you are trading on the lower time frame. But I won't be going deep into that. But this still looks the most valid for now. It actually looks very good because it did not use the breaker block, so it should most likely go for that. And if it goes for that, this will be my target. This level here will be my target. This will be my target. And that's how many are 4.5. It's still fine. So that will be my target. But let's see what the market decides to do. How did it change? I'm sure I'm wondering why it was not. So almost likely we're targeting this area. First of all. But let's see what happens. It's not like 100% formation. Let me be fast. Then the next one is GU. This one, I'm just reserving my comment on it. But it looks like it reacted from this breaker block too. And the breaker block actually had an inducement before it. So this is where it reacted from. For those who did not understand. So it had an inducement for that entry. But then the market is not my daddy's market. So the breaker block entry will have been something like this. Your target will be here, and that is how many RR? That is 5 RR setup. So this is normally, this is what is currently in play on GU. This was currently on play on GU. Nothing else for now. That's what's currently on play. So that is how you get breaker block entries inside expansions. But that is that. This is what is playing out. So let's see the next one. What else? This is also currently playing out from Tuesday. We had this since Tuesday. It finally came to that level. And this is the target. And why was that? You can see break, break, break. Clearly on the downtrend. And you can see how it reacted sharply. You can see how it reacted sharply there. Because that's a very valid bearish order block. You can see the reaction. I feel like it did almost 3 RR self. Let me see to be sure. It has already done 3 RR. I was very sure about that. So if you're a 3 hour trader like me, you'll have been out of this trade in very good profits. So this was currently playing out. There's nothing to talk about here. We already discussed this on Tuesday. It's still in line with the trend. Still very bearish overall. Then next one is UJ. The price action of this pair has been very messy. Very, very messy recently. Because what's this rubbish? So for this, I'll just be observing for now. It doesn't look good. Sweat liquidity, just playing around. So I will ignore this for now. It doesn't look good until it creates something that actually looks good. But then on the higher time frame, this is a shift and there's a break of structure. And one thing I always say is that if you can't see something clear, check another time frame. But the problem now is, where do you want to buy from? Because this has been mitigated. Wow. This has been mitigated. This has been mitigated. So this looks like the only unmitigated area that is now clicking. Just this. So if by adventure I want to enter this market, might be having my buy possibly around here. And this will be my target. This is the only thing that looks okay on this pair, because there's a shift, there's a break. I'm probably coming back towards this area. But let's see how that goes. Then the next one is gold. Gold has been on a crazy uptrend. So this was the last setup we had on Tuesday, and it played out nicely. So the 5.5 hour trade. So it's gotten done session. And after that, it broke structure. After that, it broke structure. And it broke it again here. Now it has shifted here. So I'll be waiting to see if this will break again. And if it breaks again, then I'll start tilting. I'll start looking more for sell opportunities. And this is where I'll be starting from, this or possibly this. So let's see what. So now I'll be observing because it has shifted. So I want to see, and the shift did not peak entry at a major demand area. Where is my construction? So, and the shift did not break. Oh, sorry, it did not close with a full body. I apologize for that. It's just a sweep. It hasn't closed with a full body yet. It hasn't closed with a full body yet. So there's no full body close yet. So it has not shifted. It has not shifted. The market is still bullish. It has not shifted. Until I get a full body close. It has not shifted. So I'll just be observing for now. So any trader, any sell you are taking here is like 50-50 based on this time frame. But if you go to the maybe 30 or 15, you might see something. Still the same thing. This is the last break. This created this high. So this is where the shift should have been. It still do not close with a full body on this time frame. So I won't be looking for a sell yet. Any sell you are looking for might be a trap. So might be a trap. So let's see what the market decides to do first. But for now, I'll just observe for the market to give me something. The market to give me something. Then I'll wait. So there's nothing here for now. There's nothing at all to be looking for. Except you want to look for buys. And it's risky because this is where late comer. So late comer. So this is where you should have been looking for a possible buy in this one, and it has cleared SLs. You can see cleared people's SL and is buying back, because normally that is where you should have been looking for like a buy continuation around here. And you probably have been targeting the all-time high, and that's like 4 hours. But then they've manipulated it and cleared people's SL. You can see that was exactly what they did. So it only swept liquidity, do not shift. So now those that are not careful will start looking for sales, and it might still break. This movement now might create another all-time high. There's every possibility that it might just keep going and create an all-time high. But if you are trading on like maybe 5 minutes, you probably see a setup place. You probably see setup. I can even see some like this. If I was trying to trade on like the 5 or 15 minutes, I'll most likely be buying. It's most likely create another all-time high. But it is 50-50. And the reason is that it did not get to it did not shift on the higher time frame, but it shifted on these 15 minutes. But then it all depends on the time frame that you are looking at it from. So that is that. That is that for now. So that will be all for now. The recorded version will be dropped on YouTube. I will see you guys on Monday, because there's no session tomorrow. I don't do breakfast sessions on Wednesdays and on Fridays. Only Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Then Sunday is for the market outlook into the new week. So that will be all for now. Then the screenshots of some of these setups will be dropped on the group also before noon. I'll try to arrange that and drop it on the group. But let's see what this market will do. That'll be all for now. Enjoy the rest of your day. You are welcome. All right. So that'll be all for now. See you on Sunday.